Hey, welcome to the trailer. Come on in. We're basically going to tell your story and how you got to where you are.
Oh, that old nugget again?
That old nugget again.
My name is Dino Dogan. I'm the founder of Triberr.
Awesome. You're also a speaker, though.
I am a speaker. Sure, I'm a lot of things. I'm a ne'er-do-well. I'm a musician. I'm a really lousy mixed martial artist. I'm a motorcyclist.
What was it? What's your tagline? Something about badassery?
Oh, yeah. Global force for badassery. You know, when you're out there on the internet, you have to do something stand out. And a lot of people seem to like that tagline.
So tell us what Triberr is.
Triberr is a lot of things. It's an ecosystem, but it's essentially a social network. And it's a social network for bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers. And it enables you to tap into my audience, but not just my audience, also the audience of my entire tribe. So, like, for example, I have a tribe called Anubis, and there's about 50 people in there. Some pretty awesome heavy hitters, right? Craig Newmark of Craigslist, Peter Shankman of Harrow, bunch of other cool dudes. And if I bring you into that tribe, all of a sudden your content is in front of those guys. And then they can obviously read it, they can comment on it, but most importantly, they can share it with their audience. So by joining a single tribe, all of a sudden, your content gets in front of, other really cool content creators, some with large audiences. But regardless of the size of the audience, you put 50 content creators together, and collectively you'll have a large audience. So it's just a way for content creators to grow their audience really quickly and exponentially.
What brought you to this point?
Well, I was doing it. I was doing exactly what Triberr does. It was just all manual. You know what I mean? So, all the marketing experts tell you stop being self-promotional, right? Self-promotion doesn't work. You're a girl, you've had guys hit on you, do like a direct approach. Hey, you should date me, right? It never works. I've done a lot of research on this. It never works, right? What does work is when your friend tells you, hey, this guy is cool, you should, check him out or whatever, right? It's that friend of a friend letting you know. It's that sidevertising, right? So all the marketing experts say, don't do this direct approach, right? Have others advocate for you. The problem was when we started Triberr, and even today, all the tools that are being built are built for this direct approach. It's me talking about myself to my audience. So we were trying to figure out a way, because I was already doing it. I was already talking about my friends to my audience, and they were doing the same thing for me. But I was trying to figure out, how do we scale this? And we couldn't find a platform that does that, so we built one.
Where's that accent from?
Bosnia, born and raised. Moved here when I was like in my 20s. Yeah, so.
All right. Because
refugees in the house.
Sometimes it shows up, and sometimes you just sound like you're from New York, New Jersey, East Coast somewhere.
Hey, forget about it. I talk English goodly.
So what's the most difficult thing you've had to do so far since you've been here and been working in the U.S.?
So you mean after I left the war in Bosnia, where I was being shot by snipers, what was the most difficult thing since then? Not much.
So do you talk about your time in Bosnia?
Sure.
Cool. So tell us what that was like, because I believe that very few people in our audience really know what it's like to go through a war zone.
I was young. When I left Bosnia, I thought I was leaving on a vacation for about 10, 15 days. All right? So I had a backpack. That's it. It's not even an exaggeration. And then when you're in it, before I actually left, I was in Croatia for a while. Before I left, while I was in Bosnia during the war, it's just surreal. You don't grasp the gravity of the situation. I never thought the war would come to where I lived. Like, even as the news was saying, oh, now it's starting here, now it's starting here. Oh, well, there's no way it's going to come, and then there it is, right? And then they would throw grenades on the town routinely, right? And as soon as the attack is over, we'd go out and start playing basketball. It's, the grenades would start coming down and we'd go into bomb shelters and play cards. It's insane. It's surreal. Like, people have a really strong ability to, like, deny reality, Wow. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I was watching snipers on top of the roofs, shooting people down and whatnot. It was nuts.
So you came here and you just stayed?
I mean, I was in Croatia first, and it took us about 6 months to get all the paperwork worked out and in order to come here as a refugee. What? And yeah, since then I haven't been back there, but I might be going there this year.
So what did you study in school? Did you study computer science?
So I studied theology in college. Yeah, so I don't do any of the coding of triberr. I'm involved in the product development from, like, pretty much every other perspective except for the actual coding. So you went from theology
To creating triberr. I'm sure that's quite the journey in there.
No. I went from theology to trying to succeed as a musician, failing, and then being a network engineer for a bunch of years at a pretty high level, and then quitting that, and then doing social media strategery and consulting type of deal for a few years in the political realm, and then triberr.
All right.
So, boom.
So what's your advice for people who are new to blogging? People who are just getting out there, actually have a little bit of content and are pretty smart. What's your advice for them?
Don't make the mistake. You're probably going to end up making this mistake because we all make this mistake. But if you can avoid making this mistake, then that'd be good. When I first started blogging, I try to be all things to all people. I try to make my content for everyone. You can't. Since then, I've written content, and this is not an exaggeration. I've written content for a single person. So my recommendation is write content for a single person. It gives you incredible focus. It really enables you to sort of deliver the thrust of the point and the message in a clear and concise way. And I would recommend start there. Like, not like a single type of person, but a single person. And what's funny about that is that when you write for somebody else, like, let's say, imagine I wrote an article that has nothing to do with you, right? Just about some other random person. The readers that are reading that article, it's not about them. It's about this one person that you wrote it for. They get that fly on the wall effect. So you actually end up writing an article that's very interesting on multiple levels to, more than you probably expected. So write for a single person. Start there.
Cool. So I should write for, like, if I were going to start a blog, maybe write for the 40-year-old redhead who owns a Ducati that's sitting in the garage that's been there for 6 months.
No. You should write. That's a type.
Oh, okay. So I should write, like, for my sister.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
My girlfriend has a blog that's for her mom.
I love it.
Right? Everybody does. Thingsareokay.com. Go check it out.
So what was last year's pinch me moment for you? What was the biggest, greatest surprise that happened?
It happened early in the year. I think it was March. I probably made the biggest blunder anyone who has an online platform can make. I forgot to renew the domain name.
Oh, that hurts me inside.
You know, at the time, triberr was getting 15 to 20,000 daily visits. So, you know, imagine one day you come in and you're greeted by the login box or whatever, and the next day you come in and it's just ads. Sorry, this domain is no longer in service. Click on this ad instead. So yeah, that was a huge blunder. So, you know, obviously we sprung into action. There's a grace period. We grabbed our domain back. We emailed our entire newsletter list. And I says, I'm a knucklehead, right? I'm a knucklehead. It's my fault. Here's what happened. We took them to a blog post that explained the whole thing. And we expected a huge, you know, like, you suck, you know, but that didn't happen. There was over 100 comments, basically people saying, oh, dude, thanks for a reminder. I need to go check my domain. And like, dude, you're only human. Don't worry about it and stuff like that. So that took about 3 days to normalize. It was a great moment where kind of our community forgave me for doing something stupid and, you know, was patient and supportive in the process to boot. So that was awesome.
That's very cool. So what is success for you in the future?
I'd rather talk about success in the now.
Oh, well, what is success in the now?
Yeah, because, you know, we all think that future holds some kind of success. The future, to quote Janis Joplin, there's only now, right? You know, doing what you love when you want to do it, and, you know, just kind of being a master of your own faith to the greatest extent possible. You know, triberr is an expression of my core values. So building a company that is the expression of my core values, it's just tremendously gratifying. You know, money's got nothing to do with it. You know, as long as you have enough money to live, you know, you're not starving and you're not living on the street or something like that, you really don't need that much more. So it's not the money. It's I think for a lot of people, it's got to be just, you know, doing something that, and this is going to sound trite, doing something you love. But for me, it's the, you know, growing something, building something that's an expression of my own core values. And I think that's super important to success. And you can do that. You can start doing that now. You don't need to wait 5 years from now.
So what's the one thing that you think everyone should know about living a creative life?
How to make money.
Yeah.
You got to know how to make money. You know, it's time for the creative class to complete the last mile. And that's what we've been working on for the last 8 months. You know, our campaigns have been in beta up until like not even a month ago. And now they're mostly open to public. You know, hopefully 2014, the collective bargaining will enable us, the creative class, to actually make a living, you know, doing what we love to do and having a location-independent lifestyle, which is what a lot of us really want.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So does that answer the question?
It answers the question just
All
fine.
right.
Absolutely. Where should we point our audience to? Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, DinoDogan.com.
Okay.
I'm everywhere, and you can usually find me by just typing in Dino Dogan.
All right, and we'll send people to triberr as well.
Sounds good. Triberr. Tribe with 2 R's at the end.
Yeah, show them your t-shirt. There you go. Woo! All right. Well, last word is yours because I have run out of questions.
Learn plumbing. I'm serious. Learn plumbing. Be a lifelong learner, right? Learn how to play guitar. Learn how to ride a motorcycle. Learn how to cook. Stop learning when you run out of things to learn.
Which will be never. Awesome. Dino, thanks very much for being on the Trailer Talks.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Boom, there she is.
Yes, here I am.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
The Trailer Talks.
Yes, we're not in the trailer. We're in the studio today, but
Ooh, in the studio.
studio.
This is just audio, right?
Actually, no, this was video too. So if you have a
Are you
camera,
serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. Don't you look fabulous as always?
No, I don't. I have to like leave my bed and shit.
Yeah, well, that's sort of how we roll in the Trailer Talks.
So, wait, were you serious about it being live?
No, we're not live. I can't do shit live without an audience. There's no way. And the only audience we have here is a pug sitting on the floor sleeping.
Gotcha. Okay, so let me put on some pants, and that'll take about 30 seconds, and then I'll be ready.
What? We don't need to see your pants. It's okay. You can do this.
I know, but like, for me.